Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Rosa Squad, and today we're here with part 2 of What If Issei Had a God Key. You guys really love that theory, guys. You guys got that at the video up to about like 32 likes, and I was like, okay, let me make a part 2. So without further ado, let's start this What If. We will start this story off as Issei just gets out of bed. Now, pretty much Issei had his encounter with Akuno the other day in the other what if, of course. If you guys want to check that out, link it in the description, of course. So yeah, Issei will get up and he will actually just get ready for his day just to go to school. Now, as Issei actually makes his way towards the school, he will actually meet Akuno there, and the two of them will talk. Now, they won't talk about anything like, okay, what is he, or things like that. It'd be kind of like a normal talk where normal teenagers would talk, of course. And this will go on for the next actually couple of actually days, of course. Even weeks, actually. They will continue to talk to each other, and as slowly actually they got to understand each other. And Akinowachi realized that Issei just wants to live a normal life. I mean, he even asks her if he can actually or if she can actually help him actually study for a test, which Issei was actually kind of failing in. So Issei went to her house and he just basically just studied there. There was nothing going on, of course. And that day she realized that he just wanted to live a normal school life. He just wants to have a normal life that anybody actually wants to actually have. So heck, later on, it's already been actually about a week, of course, as Issei will actually just finish up his actually classes, as he actually realized that Akuno left one of her notebooks in his bag actually by mistake while they were studying. So Issei will just go to the orc club, right, and he will actually just go and hand over the book. But Issei failed to realize that there was actually a barrier placed around the orc. Like, it was so weak that pretty much Issei just walked through it like it was just water. So once Issei basically makes it inside, opens the door, and he will see a surprising sight. He will see actually the Grimory actually Parage there, and surprisingly he will see the Seed Tree also there, and another person. He will see two people who he's never seen. It was Greyfear and Riser. As Issei just had a weird look on his face, while Reyes and the rest were just looking at Issei just completely stunned. Some were even thinking like, how did he have to get in? There was a barrier placed around the orc. As immediately Riser asks, who was this actually filthy actually human? Issei was taken aback. Wait, is he just assault me? Did he just assault me? Nah. No way this guy just assaulted me. As immediately Riz would actually look at Issei confusion and she asks if she can help him. Greyfair will look towards Riz and ask, so you don't know this person? Riz would shake her head saying like, no, of course she never actually encountered him before, but Arkano would. And she would actually have a worried expression on her face. Riser would basically walk towards Issei and he would basically say like, so, a human has actually know who we actually are now. There's no point, of course. He's seen us. As he would just walk around Issei while pretty much, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Riser's Parage is also there, so yeah. As he would basically just say how pretty much of a lonely guy he really is. That pretty much how he pretty much just looks so stupid as a filthy human basically is actually in the presence of a high ranking actually devil. Issei will actually ask like, who's this jackass? In his mind, of course, but immediately Riser would just go on and like slap Issei's face, like kind of like lightly slap, like, run along this little dog, this is actually no place actually for you. And with this, Sono asks if Issei has any business here. But Issei says like no, but now he actually kind of does. Issei would immediately just go and appear right in front of Riser. This guy just insulted him, and he had his hands out, and immediately over a red orb starts to form in the center of Issei's actually palm. And before Ryza can even know it, Issei will blast Ryza out of the orc room, completely destroying the building of the orc itself. Everybody will watch this completely stunned, as they will see Ryza Phoenix go flying outwards to the back garden of the orc club room. Ryza's Parage would see this, as immediately they would go and charge towards Issei. But what actually Issei would do, he will look towards them, and immediately all of them will be paralyzed with fear. It's kind of like what Beerus did to Vegeta in the Battle of Gods, of course. He just looked towards Vegeta and Vegeta stopped. Yeah. So that's what Issei did. As immediately once they stopped, Issei was already behind them, and they were already on the ground. Ravo was actually in the corner, kind of being afraid of course, as immediately Issei will appear right in front of Ryza, the place where he blasted him. Issei will pick him up by actually by the throat, and immediately he will start to suffocate him. Ryza was already damaged, like his regeneration was not healing him properly. His whole body part was actually blown off. It was just mostly actually like his top actually body, one of his legs was actually destroyed, his right arm was actually basically no more, and his side of the head was actually just completely destroyed. He was barely alive. So Issei was immediately start to choke him, and his eyes would glow red, saying how disrespectful Ryza actually really was, as he was preparing to end him. But immediately he will feel a hand placed on his actually wrist that was holding Ryza. Issei will look, and he will see it was actually none other than Grafia. Grafia would actually look to Issei, and she would give him a cold look, and saying to let go of Ryza Phoenix right now. And she will immediately start to release her aura to imitate Issei. Issei would actually not be afraid, and I'm sorry for all you Greyfriars lovers. I'm sorry, I'm actually gonna have to do this. As immediately Issei will grab Greyfriar's wrist, and he will knee her in the stomach, rupturing her organs, and immediately Greyfriar will cough out blood. Greyfriar will be on the ground, of course, clenching her stomach, as everybody seeing this was completely shocked. Sona and actually Riz Parag was about to attack, but besides for actually Akino, they were about to launch actually magic towards Issei, but immediately Akino stopped them. Immediately she actually grabbed Riz's wrist and told Riz to stop, to not attack Issei. And Akino asked why. She just actually attacked her sister-in-law. But immediately Akino would say that pretty much if he actually took down Ryza's Parage, took down Ryza, and actually made Greyfriar cough out blood, then he is way stronger than her. There's no way that she can take him on, including actually if they team up together. It's truly an unwise actually fight they should not actually try. As Riz would actually look towards Akino, this was actually a completely shock. Akino would never actually say something like this. As Issei will walk towards Akino, all of them will actually get back, just ready to actually attack. Riz actually asks what does he want and who is he, but Issei will ignore Riz, who grab actually Akino's notebook from his bag, and immediately he will actually lightly tap it on her head, saying that you forgot your notebook while we studied, of course. With this, Issei will actually just leave, of course, as he will just leave a stone group there, and also a blushing Akino. Everybody will look towards Akino and ask, mind to explain? Do you know him? But Akino didn't say anything. She just says let's help actually Grafia, of course. So that's what they did. Issei will be actually walking home, and once he actually kind of reaches home, he was just actually greeted with the sight of actually this Great Red actually. Actually, her name is actually kind of Scarlet, if you guys must know. So yeah, Scarlet will be there on the kitchen counter waiting for Issei, as she would actually just walk up towards him, and immediately she will actually pinch his cheek. Issei will cry in pain and ask what did he do, as Scarlet would scold Issei for not coming to the dimensional gap. She just missed her doing an awesome stunt there. Issei will apologize and say that school was actually a big problem, that he had to deal with this actually fried chicken. As Grey Red kind of Scarlet will actually say oh, Ryza Phoenix, huh? Yeah, I don't really have to care about that. But anyways, she will grab Issei and pushing him towards the dimensional gap to see her awesome stunt. Now, fast forward all the way to the next day to where Issei will be actually just like in class, of course. As pretty much he will actually feel that somebody is watching him for some reason. Like, of course, it was like so strange. But immediately, just like Issei, once the bell rings, Issei will walk out of class as he will be greeted with the sight of actually Sabaki and Konoko. They will actually ask him to follow him to actually like the club rooms, but immediately Issei will just brush them off. As he would actually just say like no, but they would say that it was really urgent, that they should be wise to follow them. Issei would just say like, oh fine. So he basically followed actually the two of them to the orc room where it was actually prepared. There they would see actually just Reyes and Sona, and they wasted no time to question Issei, asking who was he, why was he here, and what relationship does he have with actually Okuno. Seeing that Okuno didn't actually want to say anything to actually Issei. But Issei didn't say anything. Reyes actually told Issei that he was in a lot of big trouble. That pretty much now, since you actually like attacked a high-ranking devils, of course, nearly actually leaving him actually to death. Now devils are actually will be coming actually after Issei, and now since you actually injured the actually like Lucifer's actually like wife, Graphia, as also you have the Devil King also after you too. Reese was actually not caring at all, and he would just say like, whatever. As Reese would say that they will hunt him down for nearly actually trying to kill her, that high-ranking old devil. Issei says like, yeah, it doesn't really bother him. And he would legit to say that if they actually want to actually fight, then fine, he would just erase them from existence. And he was talking like this, like he was basically powerful to even actually take on the whole devil world. As Reese would release her aura, trying to imitate Issei. But Issei would use a fraction of 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 his actual power, and he would release his own aura. And this was actually enough to actually scare and shit everybody in that club room. As Issei would say that if he has to take on the whole devil world, then he will. He will actually exterminate all of them to actually extinction. And Issei will hold a tiny ball of key energy, mixture of actually purple and red, and with this, Issei will launch it behind Reyes, destroying the building or the wall behind her before it completely was erased. Issei said that he will erase them for all eternity. This would scare Reyes to a high degree, knowing that he just did something to erase actually the back wall of her. Issei would take actually up his actually bag and he would look towards Okuno. And he would actually say like, study session tomorrow, my place? And Okuno would nod her head slowly, as with this Issei would just leave. While Issei was walking home, he would immediately actually sense actually devils actually surrounding him. As a barrier will be placed actually around him, as actually about one devil will come out of the bush and he will actually launch actually demonic actually magic towards Issei. Issei will actually just put his right hand up and immediately he would say Hakai. The attack will be erased, and while Issei will grab the devil by the face, slamming him towards the ground. And with it, the devil will come crashing down to the ground, create a massive crater, before Issei will crush his face in. Issei will get back up, as immediately 10 devils will come surrounding him, as Issei will make himself a red keyblade, and he will absolutely cut all of their heads clean right off. As he will just say like, how pathetic. As with this will actually continue on for the next few actually days. Devil will come after Issei, as Issei will just completely kill them, not showing any mercy. Okay, he did show mercy to some of them, of course, but he did kill most of them that actually really did piss him actually off. Right now, Issei was actually just with Okuno, basically kind of just walking home, of course, from actually school. It was basically stressful, and Issei didn't talk to Okuno about the events that was actually happening. He just wanted a normal life, while Okuno actually asked Issei who he truly really was, and really how powerful really is he. She just wanted to know, not to tell Reyes, because Issei threatened her that if he told Reyes anything, then he will see the other side, and she actually did saw the other side of Issei. He was really powerful. Issei will look towards Akeno, and with this, he will actually kind of say that he is the Red Dragon Emperor, while showing his green eyes, and an image of a red dragon would appear behind Issei. Akeno would be shocked to hear this, as she was blown away by actually what Issei said, and she actually was actually now shaken. But Issei just placed her hand on her head while patting it, and saying that of course, like, yeah, he may be the Red Dragon Emperor, but he's not gonna actually hurt his actually friend, of course. This will make Akeno blush, and with this, I think we're gonna be actually time skipping. You thought I was actually gonna end it, what if? Ha! You guys actually joking, huh? So right now, Issei is actually just pretty much in actually class, as if you guys are wondering like why are you guys doing actually this daily event, because actually now we're actually getting on to the good bit, of course. Now, seeing that Rise of Phoenix has actually been quote unquote near death, they're gonna actually push their actually like race engagement to about another couple months, seeing that he was not in the perfect condition to actually go through with the wedding preparation. But we actually go on to actually the Kokubio arc, of course, which actually will arrive. Issei will be actually in class, they will go in normally as he will actually return home. But as Issei gets a call from actually his actually stepmom, as she will ask him to come over to the house. Once Issei gets to the house, he will immediately be see after his mom and dad there, but also he will see two people that he never saw before. They will actually have hooding cloaks that are covering the whole body. Issei was sit actually just facing actually his father and asked what was the problem here and who were these two. As Issei's father was saying, Issei, come on, show some manners. Of course you actually know your childhood best friend Irina. Issei was like, huh? Irina? As one actually like the cloaked person like Irina, of course, like she will reveal her hoodie and she will actually greet Issei, saying like it's been actually a long time, of course, since she's seen him. As Issei will actually kind of think like, huh? Wait, is not Irina supposed to be a boy? As Issei's stepmom would actually just hit Issei on the head, saying that it was actually rude. As Irina was apologizing, saying like, no, it's actually okay, I did dress as a boy. Of course, she did came to see Issei, so the two of them actually had a family reunion. And with this, I think I'm going to be ending the what if actually here, guys. I know it wasn't something like so big, I know you guys were waiting for something massive, of course, but the next part of would be actually Issei versus actually Kokubio. There we actually see some more action. This is where we, this part was actually me showing you guys actually the whole Riser event. Since Issei completely destroyed Riser, Issei was only using a fraction of his power, guys. Like, it wasn't even that even close. He wasn't even using 1% of his power. That's how powerful Issei is. That's how powerful he actually became during this actually time of event. But anyways, I'm going to be leaving the what if off here. Without further ado, I'm Ultra Anime. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.